And it seems like everyone here has like a little piece of the vision of sharing digital content, the Three Angels message to our culture in different ways. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. I had a corny acronym for it. M.A.N.N.A has two N's to it, so help me out. I need another letter N, but here's my corny acronym. M.A.N.N.A is Maranatha's Advanced Networking Application. You're gonna have to help me out with another N, but what do you guys think so far?
Can you put that in the chat? I need to visualize.
I was just thinking neural also.
Neural, right? Someone put that in with the neural into the chat. Yeah, the reason I call it Maranatha is the second coming of Christ. Advanced because we've never had anything like this before. Just think about it. If we had an application that could be able to unify content creators and ministries with our message, where people are like, I want to download this app. No matter if you're in a first world country with the Xbox latest greatest graphics cell phone or a third world country. I have a friend, he's from Nepal. I don't know why he can't be here, but I invited him and I almost thought he was definitely gonna be here. But it appears that no matter where you go, there's technology and it's already immersed into the culture, whether it's here in the US or a third world country, that even in Africa, in the jungles, and someone's got cell phone service or something like that, and they can be able to share data with other people. I've expressed this idea to a few of you, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on it, all right? I want to create something that brings all the ideas together, that is an application or a launch pad or a platform for ideas such as these that can be able to have movies and videos and content and Adventist ministries and health apps, right? But it's a launch pad of all of these amazing ministries with really good content, and they can be able to be presented in front of maybe eyes that they wouldn't have had the opportunity to be in front of. And so it doesn't matter if it's like a small mom and pop's kind of ministry. Maybe people are downloading this app to play this epic cool video game, or to watch this series, or to watch this video. But so they're downloading this app, which then presents content in front of the user based on analytics. And so they see the different categories, and then things will be presented in front of them to get them interested and engaged, and then makes it also easier to share the content that they've received.
Kind of how I see it is, I hope we're all staying away from Netflix if we can, but if you go on Netflix, you'll see different categories and it's all videos and TV shows and movies, but you'll see different categories and a bunch of options within that category. And kind of how I was envisioning M.A.N.N.A was, you could have a category for games, a category for videos, for faith-based movies, all this kind of stuff. And subcategories within those categories, like immersive experiences, VR, AR, all that kind of stuff. And I think Prophecy Quest would fit into kind of, immersive experience VR game.
Just to be clear, you're talking about M.A.N.N.A as it's basically going to be linking you, giving everybody a page, and then linking you to either if the game is in Google or the App Store, whatever. If it's linking to a page or a YouTube channel, or that's what you're talking about, M.A.N.N.A.
Yeah.
So it's the framework for it is actually very simple.
Yes.
But so
it's simple, but it's also complex too, because there's some things you can download completely. Such as videos from certain ministries that want to be able to allow their content to be downloaded. But then there's some stuff, obviously, where you'll go to a YouTube channel or a different app or whatever website that they want to go to. But hopefully from this app, it can be able to present stuff that's relatable to them.
Okay. So is this going to be the release platform for Prophecy Quest?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, and I think Jared's pretty gung-ho about making sure Prophecy Quest is like very cross-platform and adaptable. It can be played on consoles, mobile, and I think stuff like the Google Play Store and the Apple iOS App Store, they already have like the network effect of everyone. If you want to download an app, you go there and you look up that app and you download it. And so I think it's important to kind of put Prophecy Quest wherever we can, but then, having it available on the platform that we have created as well, which is M.A.N.N.A.
Yeah, you could always be able to, black market torrent it, right? Where like countries might block it off. You want to make it accessible to them. So yeah, definitely want to keep it underground where we have to. But it's got to be accessible, and they got to be able to share it. Instead of just downloading, they should be able to share as well. And that's what, being able to share content physically in third world countries is something of great importance, right? If you guys have seen the Chosen app, right? There's videos for you to watch. They get you engaged with other videos that they've created, and they're like, hey, here's some other stuff that we want to create. And while gaining the interest and leading people to Christ. I like the way Brother Richard said it, that we are kind of like the gateway, and we can be able to lead them on the path of discipleship. And so people will be downloading this app to be able to gain interest in different things, or maybe to have access in things that they wouldn't have access to play a board game that they wouldn't normally have seen. And also, let's say a digital ministry is having an event, or a local church is having an event. And so these people are downloading this app to watch these movies, to play these games. But hey, they're also getting invited to a health seminar. They're getting invited to a Revelation series.
So my only thought on it is, and this is the thing I think that we as Adventists have failed to recognize for a long time, Christians in general, but I think Adventists when it comes to connecting with media, and it's part of the reason why we're so late to this field, is the fact that we spend so much time going to people to get them to adapt to our culture rather than looking at their culture and getting a firm understanding of where they are coming from. A quick example of this is in a short little story, a missionary who goes to Africa, and one of the missionaries passes away. Well, the people they ministered to, tradition says they come and bring food to that person's grave. They leave it there as a show of respect and ceremony. And the other missionaries say, hey, you can't do that. Like that's old. We don't do that. That's not. They don't eat the food. It's meaningless. You don't keep up this thing. It's a meaningless tradition. And then another missionary passes away, and then the missionaries go and take flowers to that person's grave. And the people are like, why are you taking flowers to them? They can't smell the flowers. And so it's like we so often try and approach people and say that it's like, oh, here, look at my platform, look at my game, look at my app, look at whatever I'm working on. But are we really understanding, like, this is for me where I'm coming from. I've actually found that my game, while it's all based in Adventist beliefs, I don't do anything that mentions Adventism in it. It's having more reach in the Christian denominations, non-denominational churches, than the Adventist churches. I get more feedback and responses from non-denominational pastors asking me to come preach and share and teach with their kids than I do the Adventist pastors. And the whole message of it is how to overcome temptation. Like, how do you deal with sin? And so it's like we're so focused often on like, hey, come look at my culture. And this is where I'm wondering is how does this platform recognize the places, like the target audience? What is it about this platform that is relating to them that they say, hey, I want to be here to see what else you have? I'd love the idea of having Eden's Conflict on listed on here and having people come to it. But I'm trying to understand what is the drive to get them to come to the platform in the first place? If it seems like they have to come because they know Eden's Conflict through something else, and then they're like, oh, but look at all these other things that are here that I can see as well. Who's the target audience, and how does this platform connect with their culture of where they would normally go to find this type of information?
Yeah, love it, bro. Obviously, your ministry reaches a certain culture, a certain demographic, right? As you've found out, and I'm sure like every single person here can reach a certain demographic and a certain culture. And even if they had like, Weimar made a health app, right? Or someone made a historical walking through where Jesus walked, and now Christian schools want to be able to use this really good 3D historically accurate stuff, or sanctuary. That I think that's what's good about the Adventist church, is that we meet a lot of needs, and and a lot of different small needs and a lot of big needs, and so based on the needs, surveys, right? So that's where analytics come into play. Analytics will be able to understand the individuals that are coming in, their age, and many other different things. So then it could be able to present things of interest that they can automatically connect with that they already know about, which ends up getting them into the funnel and getting them connected and studying.